Hi, I'm Clark Judge from CBSSports.com, and today I'm in Westminster, Maryland, home of the Baltimore Ravens, and now the home of Jon Gallo. He's our correspondent for CBSSports.com, and Jon will be blogging this team during training camp and during the regular season. Now, Jon, we know about what Baltimore lost in the offseason, Rex Ryan, Bart Scott, Jim Leonard, but let's talk about who's back here, and I'll start with Joe Flacco, the quarterback. There are a lot of expectations of Joe Flacco in his second year. Tell me why he'll be a better quarterback and what to expect of him.
Well, last season he started off slow, but towards the end of the season he was playing well beyond his years. I think the difference between this year and last year with Joe is that he's more comfortable with his receivers. The offensive line has improved and should be a little bit healthier and should be a little bit better. Therefore, he will have more Todd Heap at his disposal. He has L.J. Smith. He has Derek Mason. The big key, though, is Demetrius Williams. Here's a guy who was a fourth-round draft pick a few years ago. Phenomenal athlete, but he's always been hurt. If Demetrius can establish as the deep threat, it will force defenses to not focus on Mason so much, because Mason is a pure 3rd and 5, catch a 7-yard pass, move the chains. He picks his spots to get deep like he did against Tennessee. But the emergence of Demetrius Williams will really will let Joe Flacco mature as a quarterback.
Okay, and talk to some people around here. One of the biggest differences they think in this team is the offensive line. I mean, now you've got two terrific tackles. You've got bookend tackles, and I'm talking about Michael Orr, who's here, and he makes a big difference, and Gaither's not participating in today's practice, but he's okay. But now that you have them and Yanda's back, you're pretty solid in the offensive line, which means you can protect the quarterback. You don't have to go into maximum protection, and it allows people like Demetrius Williams to stretch the field if, as you said, he's okay.
But one person a lot of people aren't talking about is Matt Burke. The Ravens lost Jason Brown to St. Louis, and Brown really was the unheralded linchpin of the unit last year. But now you bring in Matt Burke, who's been to the Pro Bowl several times. He was a leader on the Vikings offense, who their biggest strength was running the football. The Ravens' strength is running the football. They're never going to be confused with Kurt Warner with the Rams or the Cardinals. They're going to run the ball behind LaRon McClain, who's one of the best fullbacks in the game. They have Willis McGahee, and if that line can give them some running room, they could be one of the better running teams again. And people here are pretty optimistic that that's what's going to happen.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Matt Burke, because I know that St. Louis was interested in him, and had they not signed Jason Brown, they were going to sign Matt Burke. But a guy I want to talk about quickly, Ray Rice. When people talk about running the ball, and you're right, that's what they do best, they're talking about Ray Rice now. A big surprise in training camp. Why? Big
surprise, because his best asset might be his elusiveness and speed to catch screen passes. Willis McGahee, he's not the runner he was 3 years ago. LaRon McClain is not nearly as fast as Ray Rice. LaRon McClain's going to be the inside, pounded-out guy. But if Ray Rice catches screen pass, his speed, he's not a big target to tackle. He's one of the smallest players in the league, but he has speed. And last year he kind of got worn down, so you didn't see him as much. But the Ravens are going to have a screen element in their offense with Ray Rice in the game.
Okay, who are they going to miss the most? They're going to miss Bart Scott, the defensive coordinator Rex Ryan, or are they going to miss the kicker Matt Stover? He's not here either.
Okay, part of me wants to say Rex Ryan because he was such a great defensive coordinator, but that's nothing new for the Ravens. Mike Nolan was great here. He got a head coaching job. So is Marvin Lewis. They've had to go through that. Jason Brown, Matt Burke's an upgrade. I'm going to say it's got to be Matt Stover. I mean, the reason Stover's not here is because his kickoffs were not up to par. He was great inside 40 yards. Kicked a game winner against Tennessee. One of the most reliable kickers, one of the greatest kickers in NFL history. But the Ravens, it came down to numbers. They can't have two kickers on this team, one for kickoffs and one for field goals. And so far you have Graham Gano and Steve Hauschka battling out, and it's going to be a long, close race. John Harbaugh said yesterday that he may take until the season opener to decide a winner.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Stover thing, because this team plays close games and field goals win close games. Bottom line, where do they fit in this division? How do they beat Pittsburgh?
I have them finishing second. I mean, they could win a lot of divisions, but Pittsburgh hasn't gotten worse. Baltimore's gotten a little bit better, but they still lost to them 3 times last year, and I think this is a team that it could, again, get to the wild card and make a run if they get the right draw. But right now, it's still Pittsburgh's division until someone knocks them off.
I'm with you, John. I think they've closed the gap with Pittsburgh, but they haven't quite gotten there. Anyway, reporting from Westminster, Maryland, for Jon Gallo, I'm Clark Judge for CBSSports.com.